right, welcome back everyone to another Navigating Dataiku with Compass webinar series. Today we're going to be talking about collaborative analytics and storytelling. So, a little bit about Compass Analytics before we begin. We are an analytics consulting firm based out of Montreal, Canada, and we really do everything related to data, so end to end, and have a very talented team that does everything from our data transformation and strategy planning, our data engineering and data science, of course, AI and machine learning, and even application development and dashboarding. Here at Compass, we also really believe in being teachers first and are a proud Dataiku partner in Canada. So with that said, we're really doing this webinar series to showcase the amazing data capabilities and solution possibilities that Dataiku has to offer. Now, my name is Ethan. I'm an AI consultant at Compass based in Montreal as well. I have a background in analytics, math, and computer science. And I have over 5 years of experience building AI and ML models and deploying them across many industries, including healthcare, pharma, and CPG. I also have a little over a year now of experience working on Dataiku. And as a practitioner, it really is my preferred platform for all things data science related and even beyond that. So I'm very excited to share all of that with you today. Now, our agenda, what we're going to be talking about today. So, of course, we'll do a brief introduction and overview of what is Dataiku for any people watching our series for the first time out there. Then we'll delve into the collaborative analytics topics like wikis and flow documentation, our tags and object share and object descriptions, sharing projects and Dataiku assets, discussions, workspaces, and version control in Dataiku, and then finally, Dataiku Stories. So to kick things off, why should you use Dataiku? That's the big question. And really, where does it sit within your enterprise? Well, Dataiku is really the best AI and ML engine out there right now that gets you from your silver layer data to your gold. And this, of course, comes after you've built your data engineering pipelines from bronze to silver. Dataiku makes it really easy to connect all of that data. From there, Dataiku excels at performing any last-like ETL and data prep before building and deploying your AI ML models. And of course, all of this is done in one platform with centralized governance. Finally, the output of your AI ML projects can be seamlessly connected to your end user business applications, such as Tableau and Power BI for dashboarding. Now, what really is Dataiku? Well, we like to call it a centralized analytics workbench, and it lets you collaborate with others regardless of their technical skill. So this means a business analyst with really no coding knowledge could collaborate with data engineers writing SQL and Python, or anyone in between. Now, what does it look like to collaborate on a project? Well, what you see here is called the flow. And this is the window in Dataiku's Data Science Studio that lets you connect data, perform your data preparation and transformation steps, build and deploy machine learning models, all in one visual interface that anyone can understand. Finally, Dataiku is a cloud agnostic platform, meaning it can be deployed across all your major cloud providers, and Dataiku integrates connections from any data source. Now, we'll start off a quote to get into the main content of this presentation. And I think this quote captures one of the most powerful truths about Dataiku. So it's not just a platform for data scientists, it's a workspace built truly for everyone involved in the data journey. Now, think about your organization. You've got business leads who know the questions that need answers, then data analysts who explore trends and build dashboards, engineers who ensure the pipelines run cleanly and at scale, and finally, developers who need to integrate or productionalize solutions. In most platforms, these teams often operate in silos. But in Dataiku, they finally meet in one place. So a business user can trigger a recipe or review a dashboard. A data analyst can prep and visualize the data in the flow. And a data engineer can build and maintain flows while a developer extends the functionality and with custom code or APIs. It's the only platform where low code and full code users can contribute meaningfully to the same workflow side by side. And that shared foundation creates alignment, accountability, and speed because insights are no longer locked behind job titles or tool boundaries. Now, the first feature we want to highlight about the collaborative analytics and storytelling capabilities of Dataiku is this very powerful generative AI feature called Explain Flow, which in a single click, Dataiku uses the structure and logic of your project to generate a clear, readable description of what's happening, step by step. So you can customize the explanation to match your audience, keeping it short for business-friendly or more detailed and technical. It's great for documentation, team handoffs, or even stakeholder updates when you need to explain what your model or analysis is doing without showing code. This will help make your AI projects more transparent, more collaborative, and much easier to maintain in the long term. Now, keeping documentation up to date is a challenge for most data projects, but in Dataiku, it's built in. Instead of bouncing between notebooks, emails, or even external tools like Confluence or Word, you can document everything inside the project itself using the wiki. It's a fully searchable, supports Markdown, and can include diagrams, screenshots, or embedded code snippets. This means your documentation lives with your workflows. You can explain your business goals, outline assumptions, list stakeholders, and even create step-by-step guides for how to use or update the flow all in one place. And when you're ready to share with a broader audience, you can export the wiki to a PDF and distribute it. This centralization makes your projects not only easier to maintain, but much easier to understand, collaborate on, and scale. Now, another key to building maintainable, scalable data projects is metadata. And in Dataiku, tags and descriptions will help you get there. So you can tag entire projects to indicate their purpose, like projects for production, or it's a sandbox, or contains external data. But what's even more powerful is tags also apply to individual objects in Dataiku. So your data sets, models, dashboards, notebooks, and even articles in your project wiki can all have tags. When you need to quickly find all your logistic regression models, just filter by a tag. If you want to document data ownership or update cycles, you could add tag categories like refresh frequency or team owner. Descriptions can be added to any object too, making it easier for new team members or reviewers to understand what each part of the flow does without having to click through every single step. It's a small habit that really makes a huge difference for visibility, traceability, and team alignment across your entire analytics portfolio in Dataiku. Now, in Dataiku, collaboration is built in, but it's also fully governed. Every project has a detailed permission matrix where you can grant or restrict access at the group or user level. You get to control who reads, writes, runs scenarios, manages dashboards, or shares assets from the project. You can also configure the visibility of a project, keeping it private, making it discoverable to others, or even just fully open within your organization in Dataiku instance. When you're ready to share your work, you don't need to export or email anything. You could publish charts, datasets, models, and dashboards directly from the flow into shared dashboards, team workspaces, curated feature stores, or data collections. It's a really flexible way to ensure the right people see the right data at the right time without sacrificing control or security. Now, let's talk data catalog. In Dataiku, the data catalog gives you and your organization a centralized, searchable hub for all your data assets. So no more silos or duplicated effort. You can curate data collections that bundle useful or verified datasets for specific teams or initiatives, making them easy to find and reuse across multiple projects. You could use the datasets and index tables view to search across your entire infrastructure, including cloud and SQL sources, and leverage the Connection Explorer to understand where your data actually lives. Popular datasets rise to the top automatically, making trusted data more discoverable. And thanks to built-in lineage tracing, you can always track how data flows right from ingestion to model. It's a powerful way to drive data reuse, governance, and speed across your enterprise. Now, discussions. Discussions in Dataiku let you collaborate directly within the context of the work. So no need to leave the platform or manage long email threads. You can actually just start a conversation right on a flow, a model, or a dashboard, and bring in the right people by tagging them. This is going to be especially valuable for coordinating approvals, reviewing model results, or handing off projects between teams. Everything is going to be documented in one place and tied to the asset that it relates to. It's a cleaner, more structured way to collaborate, and it's fully integrated into the workflow, so nothing ever gets lost and everyone on your team stays aligned. Now, Workspaces in Dataiku are collaborative hubs where teams can gather everything they need in one place. No more jumping between projects or folders. You can create a workspace to bring curated dashboards, data sets, articles, or even full web apps, all organized and accessible with just a few clicks. Workspaces are a great way to package and present work, whether it's for business users needing a clean interface or for enabling reusability across teams. Workspaces are going to be especially helpful for themes like fraud detection, marketing analytics, or executive reporting. Really, anything where centralized, up-to-date content improves collaboration. Now, version control is a fundamental element of any scalable data workflow, and of course, Dataiku supports it natively through Git integration. Right within the interface, you can branch your project to experiment, prototype, or test changes without ever risking your production logic. You can merge those changes back later, just like a developer working in a Git repository would. And every step is going to be logged and committed, so you maintain a full audit trail and can easily revert if something goes bad and breaks. And if you already use GitHub, GitLab, or Bitbucket, Dataiku integrates those too, so you can sync and collaborate with broader dev teams. This gives your team the freedom to experiment, the discipline of version control, and the safety net of rollback, all again without leaving the platform. Now, to wrap up this section on analytics, storytelling, and collaboration, let's talk about Dataiku Stories. Stories are an integrated way to turn your analytics into compelling, shareable presentations. You're not exporting screenshots or copying charts into PowerPoint. Instead, you're building native directly in Dataiku, and they're anchored to your live data. You can place markers to highlight specific points on a graph, add context through annotations that filter or explain what the audience is seeing, start a discussion thread right on the slide, keeping feedback and interpretation close to the data. And when you're done, you can export your story to PDF, PowerPoint, or even a zip package that preserves the structure and layout. Even better, Dataiku includes generative AI tools that help you summarize datasets into full slide content. So storytelling becomes not only collaborative, but also faster and smarter. This is really how Dataiku helps teams move from dashboards to decisions together. Now, I want to thank you all for watching the presentation. We'll move on to the Q&A portion of the webinar, I will just take a look at the Q&A chat, see if we have any questions. Yes. So how does Dataiku support multiple people working on the same project? This is a great question. Dataiku essentially supports the collaboration through features like Git-based project version control, project level permissions, and shared assets like dashboards and wikis. So users can work in separate branches or use permissions basically to limit who can edit what while still sharing a unified view of the project. Um, it's structured, but you still have the flexibility for real collaboration. See, we have another here. If we already use tools like PowerPoint or Confluence, what's the benefit of using Dataiku Stories instead? Well, the main thing is stories really live with the data. So you don't have to export, copy screenshots, or manually update charts every time something changes in your data set. Everything in a story is directly linked to your Dataiku project and can reflect the latest results. So it's not just easier, but it's also going to reduce the risk of sharing outdated or inconsistent information. Now, I think we have another. Is Dataiku similar to Snowflake, Databricks, or Microsoft Fabric? If so, what's the difference between those tools? This is a great question. I think the main thing here is Dataiku is really this orchestration layer that orchestrates data, your workflows, your data prep and blend, and then, of course, building and deploying AI and machine learning models. But the data doesn't actually sit within Dataiku. So you can bring in data from those aforementioned data warehouses or lakehouses like Snowflake, Databricks, and then that data still lives in the lakehouse, but is orchestrated through Dataiku to achieve your AI ML project needs. Now we have time for one more. Can business stakeholders who don't use Dataiku still engage with the work or provide feedback? Yeah, pretty easily. So you can share, for example, dashboards or stories as interactive views. You can export stories as PDFs or publish them to shared workspaces. And then stakeholders could also review visualizations in a dashboard. They can read context and even leave comments in discussions or request changes directly within the platform if they have access. All right, thank you all very much for your question. That will wrap up our session. Stay tuned. We have our next webinar on July 3rd. We're going to be talking about AI agents, and we'll actually be building a chatbot in the Dataiku platform using Dataiku answers. So very exciting stuff. Make sure you sign up at compassdata.ca or check out our LinkedIn. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.